Hi there, and welcome to this week's episode of the Guest List podcast with me, your host, Steve Guest. This has been recorded on the morning after England beating Denmark and getting through to the final of the European Championship. First time England have got through to a final since 1966. And this podcast has aptly been titled Seize the Day. And it's all about grabbing the opportunity. So I wanted to chat through a story and I wanted to create the link between personal branding and the ability or the rise of potential opportunity. And for me, putting yourself out there, putting yourself into a position where you are present, you are sharing your journey, your thoughts, your processes, the ups and downs. It allows people to come to you and potentially offer opportunity, but also it's an ability to help you grow as an individual. And it welcomes other people to either present opportunities or or offer opportunities to you and vice versa. It's about being present. It's about being active. But ultimately, regardless of what kind of flows towards you or away from you, it's about taking action. It's about making something happen from whatever presents itself. And I'm going to share a story with you today about a journey that I've been on and perhaps the ups and downs of the whole process. A couple of years ago, I made a decision that I wanted to learn Spanish. And I've thought about it. I've dipped in and out. I've bought course books that I've never opened or looked at. I've downloaded books and ways of learning Spanish on Audible that I've kind of listened to in bits, but not really committed or followed through. And I was sat at home probably just before Christmas, and I saw a post on Facebook from a lady that lives local to me, Almudena, and she was teaching Spanish virtually. And I saw it. I liked how it was presented and what was written. And I sent her a message and said, I'm keen to learn Spanish. Could we get something sorted or at least have a conversation? And that progressed into a Zoom meeting, which in theory was probably the first lesson for about an hour. So we got an idea of what the course was about, what the lessons were and how it would work. And from January this year, I committed to scheduling in an hour's worth of Spanish lessons every week. And it started off well, if I'm honest, and then work starts to take over and various things happened. My Spanish lessons got pushed to late on a Friday afternoon, and it got later and later, and I would find myself cancelling or not being able to attend because I was trying to sort other things that I suppose on a priority list I perhaps see as a higher priority. And so we're in July, and in theory, I should have had a lot more Spanish lessons than I've actually taken. And I've got some basic skills. I've got some basic understanding, but because I wasn't doing the homework, because I wasn't necessarily committing 100% to the journey, and perhaps I'd have a lesson every 1 or 4 weeks, and the bits in between nothing was happening. I almost felt like I was starting the process again every time I had a lesson. And whilst I suppose it was pushing me more towards the goal that I had in mind, I wasn't getting there quick enough. And I suppose in terms of priority, it just kind of wasn't quite there. And I needed to change this. I needed to take action. I needed to give myself that kind of kick up the backside. And I had a lesson a couple of weeks ago, and Almudena was talking about what she was going to do and the fact that she was looking to learn French, and she'd embarked on a journey to allow herself to speak more than the languages that she speaks, and she'd committed to doing her GCSE French in August 2022. And she'd paid for the course and the exam up front. So she was booked in and committed, and she'd taken action. And whilst we were talking and she was telling me this story, I think she could see the glint in my eye. And I was sat there thinking, do you know what? I think that's what I need to do. So in turn, I then committed to doing my Spanish GCSE, which is now booked in for August 2022. And the idea behind that is, yes, you take action and you commit to something. For me, it's about having a date in a diary that you're working towards. It's a goal, it's an end goal, it's an accountability program. I know by August 2022, I have to be very good at Spanish from a very basic understanding to be able to pass a GCSE exam. And as some of you will know, at school, I was a very studious, hardworking academic student. I do commit. I love the academic side. But this has taken me back 20 odd years since I left school. So it's a huge commitment. And having received the course books this week, it is no mean feat that as to what I've got to achieve. I think having looked at the first few pages of some of the Spanish in there, I've got a lot of hard work to do. But the main thing here, and the main, I suppose, areas of this story and what I'm trying to convey to you is you've got to take action. You've got to commit. I think the ability to pay for something, for me anyway, makes me more committed because I want to get use of where I'm spending my money. I want to get return on investment. And it allows you to advance. It gives you something to achieve. It is a goal. It is a smart goal. It's measurable. It allows you to keep the momentum. It allows for personal growth and continues you on a journey of advancement. But the biggest part here is that you're taking action and you're putting yourself out there to achieve something. And I was having this conversation in the office this week, and one of my colleagues said, "Do you know what, Steve? You are good. You just get things done." And that's not the first time I've had this conversation, and it's a big part of me and my character. And I think it takes time to get to this position. And I suppose it's almost like you're working on areas to push you forward that allows you to kind of think, well, if I don't do it, I'm never going to achieve it. If I don't write it down, if I don't commit to it, if it's not an actionable task that's built into a diary, then it's never likely to be achieved. And you've got to commit 100%. And a lot of the solo podcasts I've done over the last few weeks have been very much focused on personal brand. And the idea behind that is my new book's coming out the end of the month, and it's about my personal brand journey. But this is a two-way streak. I'm committed to my Spanish lessons with Almudena because of her personal brand and the fact that she was willing to put posts out to show the world what it is that she does and how she does it and what she's looking to do. And I'm bought into that. And from my perspective, I share my journey along the way through podcasts, through writing a book, through my social media content, through the YouTube channel, and various personal branding exercises. And it's not necessarily all about what you're putting out, it's what it achieves along the way and the opportunities that it brings. So the importance of showing your journey and documenting what you do and making things accountable is the whole process when you look in. So the ability for me to be able to put out on my social media content that I'm now committed to doing the GCSE Spanish exam in August next year tells my network that that's what I'm doing. It shows my network that I do things outside of work. but it also makes me accountable and committed. And the number of emails and messages you get from the posts that you put out, and generally most are supportive. So I've now got people that are willing to help me in my Spanish, that are willing to almost be a pen pal or a phone conversation every other week, because they want to be brought into that journey. And the power of the personal branding will always bring opportunity if it's done in the right way. And I think sharing that on social media, being answerable, being accountable, being present, and being active will just bring opportunity. And that's, I suppose, what I want to get out of today's podcast. It's, if you're sat there and you're procrastinating, if you're sat there thinking, I want to achieve this or I want to go and do that, but you do nothing towards getting there, then you've really got to start thinking, how do I get there? What is it that pushes me to that next level? What do I need to do that will mean I have to go out and achieve those goals? If it's about putting a post out to saying, right, by this time, at the end of 2021, this is what I want to have achieved, and this is what I'm going to do to get there, you will have people in your network that will want to support you. You'll also have people in your network that are going to watch what you do to get there. Some will want you to fail, to say, I told you you'd never achieve that, which should be a motivator in itself. And some others will be there to say, do you know what? I knew you were going to do that. Well done. I've really enjoyed sharing that journey. Now you've done that, what about this? And that's where the opportunity arrives. Commit 100%. Schedule time in your diary to make sure you can achieve it. Book in those meetings. Surround yourself with people that will make you accountable, but actually will also allow you to advance. Are you in networking groups? Are you in social surroundings that have people that will uplift you and elevate you to new levels? Will those people allow you to advance in the goals that you're looking to achieve? Can they help you get there faster by sharing their journey and for you to follow their personal brand journey? Engage and follow up, and ultimately set your tasks, your goals, your schedules out to make sure you can achieve what you set out to achieve. I've really enjoyed talking through this podcast, and I'm really passionate about the fact that having a personal brand journey is not an outward, I suppose, way of saying, look at me, look at how good I am. Yes, it's part of that, but the large proportion of a personal brand journey, the large proportion about seizing the day and going out there and doing things, it's about commitment. It's about a journey and a process. It's about setting goals, but putting it out there to be accountable. And for me, the biggest part of this journey is the accountability that having a strong personal brand brings. The fact that you commit to interviewing people on a podcast, the fact that you commit to writing a second book, the fact that you commit to take Spanish GCSE. None of this is easy, and it takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes the ability to schedule in time and make things happen, which is why when people say, Steve, you just get things done. If I didn't get things done, I'd stay still and I would be static and I wouldn't move forward. And that's the important part. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's podcast. I've really enjoyed chatting through, and I hope the story of or my Spanish GCSE story or Spanish lesson story has inspired you to go and do something different and something that scares you. It does definitely scare me. So watch this space, August 2022. I want anybody that's listened to this to mark that in their diary, and you come and ask me how I got on and what I achieved. Hopefully I've done everyone proud, including myself. So enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Please like, share and comment and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all soon.